All right, I'm live on YouTube for now. See how long it lasts. As you're probably hearing by now, well, if you haven't heard prior to this, you're going to hear it now. Stefan Molyneux has been banned from YouTube. Wow, unbelievable. I never would have thought I would see the day, but it has come. And Stefan Molyneux, I've been following his channel ever since, well, it's been at least a decade, over a decade, I would say. I think he started his channel, well, a few years, obviously, before I started watching his stuff. But, wow. It's considered the largest philosophy show on the internet with, what is it, over a billion or up to a billion views, hundreds of millions of downloads. What do you have for subscribers? I mean, YouTube's been busy, just like they've been doing to channels like myself, been busy making it all but impossible for those of us who are content creators who won't play ball with the status quo or the establishment or the new up and coming who wants to be the establishment. So that's the thing. There's a battle between the old establishment and the ones that want to be your new thought leaders and the new establishment. And that's what's taking place predominantly these days in the social media platforms and their battle that they're having with some of the legacy media or dinosaurs in the establishment news or media outlets is they're battling out, and the fallout, like I say, they're fighting for supremacy over how or who gets to control or manipulate how you think about things or perceive things. And the dinosaurs are losing big time. Social media is definitely winning in that battle, right? And along the way, like I say, there's a lot of people who are going to be sacrificed at the altar because anyone that challenges the dominant narrative, like I say, whether you're talking about the dominant narrative by the establishment or the new establishment, either overlords that are trying to be your new thought leaders or the old thought leaders, they're all battling for your minds. And what they are, both of them are concerned about is you having anything even remotely resembling an independent mind that can think critically about the issues. That is one thing that both of these sides of this authoritarian, collective authoritarian type of coin, that is the motif. That's the thing. They don't want anyone to be able to hear truth or information that counters their propaganda, or like I say, how they want things to be done, how they want the world to function or exist. And they're basically going through everyone. I mean, Molyneux, of course, he's going to be taken out long before someone like me. Why? I basically talk about a lot of the same things, share a lot of the same opinions and perspectives, and I would consider myself a philosopher as well, because I'm all about the pursuit of truth and knowledge. But yet I have a very few people who watch me. I mean, I even today, as I was getting ready to start this live stream, I'm down to 7.76. So it just keeps going down. My subscriber count keeps going down. I'm getting less and less views, like what, a couple hundred views. So YouTube is like, no, we don't really have to worry about Bennett. We don't have to worry about the Canadian Libertarian. He's having no success. He's not even picking up new supporters to counteract our constant trying to degrade his channel. Like I say, by not putting me in the recommended section, by not allowing new subscribers to see my content so that I can counteract the loss of some of the old subscribers or however that's playing, taking it. If they can make me irrelevant without doing anything more than just making sure that I'm seen by lesser and less amount of people. And sorry, I hate to say this, but I'm all about personal responsibility. And listen, you folks that watch my channel, you're obviously not doing enough to counteract that. Like I say, I cannot do everything myself. I can produce the content. I can provide you with information. I can be, the pushback against the status quo or the new thought leaders who want to take over, right? But I can't do anything without people sharing or spreading my content around. Neither can the rest of us out here. So just like with Stefan Molyneux, now obviously he had to go through now being banned on YouTube, and he's, of course, now by no choice of his own is going to have to transition himself over, although we all have a presence already on some of these alternative media platforms. That's already a reality. But we're basically all being forced to have to go to these alternative. So, like I say, if you want, in the big player space, in the public square, in the online public square, just like in the real world, if you want to be able to have, a say in the public square, in your local city, let's say downtown Toronto or in Ottawa, if you want to have the ability to go to that public square and speak openly without, without someone saying, no, you're not allowed to come here. You're not welcome here in this public space. Well, like I said, that's what these dominant social media platforms are, just in the internet, just in the online world. They are what's considered the public space, because that's where most people gravitate to. The online platforms that, I'm massively respectful of, like Gab and Minds and Parler and some of these other ones, they're great, but they mostly function as echo chambers. The public space, right, where people from all political backgrounds, stripes, and people perspectives or ideologies, the public space is these dominant players, these dominant platforms. So, like I say, I prefer to stay and battle in the public space, because that's really where the battle takes place. I mean, if you want to strategize in a private setting, well, go to some of these alternative platforms and do something, but you're just going to be functioning in an echo chamber. But apparently, like I say, people aren't willing to stand up and support those of us who are the content creators who take, the bold chances. And I mean, Stefan Molyneux had 3,000, he probably was getting close to 4,000 videos. And me, as someone with 1,200 videos on YouTube, yeah, when I think about what it would be, what it would require to try to replace that 1,200 videos, just think about it just for 5 fucking minutes, try to re-upload 1,200, never mind 3,000 or 4,000 videos. Now, unfortunately, Stefan Molyneux, I believe he probably has, although that's the thing, they were all uploaded to YouTube. So that's the thing. He had them all, his videos, on YouTube. And I'm sure he's just like me. I have them backed up on external drives. But once again, they're just sitting in my house on my drives. What good are they? I can't share them. It's like having the Library of Alexander, but I can't get the books out to anyone to read, right? So what good does it really mean if the information isn't out there? And I would imagine on his channel, his free domain, or I mean his website, I would imagine now all those would suggest that if you go to click on the videos, they no longer exist, because YouTube basically claims ownership when you upload to their platform over the videos that you upload to their platform. So, like I say, folks, and the more people continue to wait, like what is everyone waiting for? If you're unwilling to support those of us who are actually the ones that are the brave and bold enough to speak openly and vocalize, our opposition to this kind of top-down authoritarianism. If you're not, like I say, first they came for what? The communists? I'm not a communist, so hey, I didn't say anything. Well, at some point in time, every fucking one of you are going to be, some of you, they're going to eventually come for you, or going to silence you, or you're just going to have to bow down and conform. If that's the future that you want to exist in, well, like continue on doing what you're doing, putting in the minimal effort and not doing or being proactive in supporting the people that, like I say, are out there challenging the status quo, not just from the dinosaur, the legacy media, but these authoritarian hacks now in the social media. If you don't support the people who the hell do you got left? Like I say, we know who the people are who have the courage of their convictions to stand up, because like we've been out here, we've been doing it all along. Lesser and less people who are supporting us and making sure that we do remain relevant and have a voice. Well, like I say, who the fuck's going to step up the plate to do it then? Once we have been, purposely vacated from the space of online social media platforms, the big public space, once they've made sure that we no longer exist there, who's going to step up the place or step up to take our place? Who the fuck is it? You? Because, well, what have you been waiting for all this time? We could really use the help. If you think you can do a better job than what I can do, or what Stefan Molyneux or anyone else out there that's, like I say, been doing this for years, if you think you can do a better job, then fucking step up and do it. Don't wait for us to lose our voice. Maybe you should bring your voice into the equation as well. I've supported many people in the past that thought that they could come out of the woodwork and do a better job, but still not seeing it. So maybe, just maybe, like I say, you should be doing a little bit more and being more proactive to spread this. This isn't a joke, but people actually, I think a lot of people these days act like this is, it's all, this isn't a fucking Sunday night movie, folks. This is real life. And it's like people are sitting there with their popcorn. Oh, this is getting interesting. It's like, the fucking sky is falling down around you. The world is crumbling down around you, and you're sitting there with your fucking popcorn looking for which channel can be more appealing to your what? Comedic senses? Or, like I say, you got to take this stuff a little bit more seriously, folks, because if you don't, well, like I say, who's going to be left to fill that void, to fill that space, right? As they keep lobbing off the ones with the most strength, the most courage, the most conviction, the most intelligence, the most fortitude. Well, what do you end up once you keep taking off from the top? You get the ones that are way the fuck down here. That's what you're going to have left to defend you, are the people that are way the fuck down there, right? And then your opponents are going to railroad over you. That's what they're doing. This is a great strategy by these authoritarian leftists, is they're taking out all the strong, like I say, they're taking out all the strong generals or whatever, what you're talking about, like battle lines, right? In the war of ideas. Or the war over the people's minds. Yeah, they're taking it, like I say, they're taking out all the big players until they get to the point where it's like, yeah, who's left? Well, when they get to the point where they don't have to take you out, that's probably because you're just not relevant. They don't give a shit. I mean, I know I'm not of much relevance anymore. Like I say, I used to have a pretty good voice, but the people that used to support me, they're all busy playing up their fucking bullshit in-group preference and worrying about skin color, worrying about stupid fucking shit that literally means nothing. Worry about, the UN. Oh, let's cry because the UN. Do you know the fucking UN is not here in Canada, not controlling you motherfuckers? UN isn't creating the legislation in Canada. The UN didn't fucking, spend hundreds of billions of dollars to put millions of Canadians on the dole of big government to create an even more socialized system in this country, to put more and more people willing to shut the fuck up and just go along, get along, because government's fucking paying for their way through life, right? No, the UN isn't of no concern to me right now, and I'm so, tell you the truth, I'm so sick and tired of these fucking dipshits that I used to align with. A lot of them that come out of the PPC that seem to be only concerned about the external threats. External threats! Fucking bunch of dumbass fucking conservatives. Cockservatives is what I call them. But, let me worry about the threat that's like, thousands of miles away, or people that have literally no power to do shit, right? But yeah, let's just ignore the fucking threats that are actually in our countries right now, running this country. The media hacks that are propagating the bullshit that the authoritarians who run this country. Yeah, let's just overlook all that shit and let's worry about the fucking UN. Like I say, what a bunch of dipshit you fucking motherfuckers are. Like, I don't know, like, where the fuck do these people come from? I swear to fuck, if you put all of your fucking together, you wouldn't have the IQ of a goddamn fucking tortoise. What is wrong with you people? Worrying about, like, because, like I say, so easy for a right-winger. That's, whether they're on the right or left, it's so easy to manipulate. You just got to know how the right-wing brain works and the left, and just manipulate them. Ad infinitum. And you just see them. They're like little fucking pawns. They'll do exactly. Oh, look, if we do this, then look, they'll do exact. And you're doing exactly what they fucking know you're going to do. What the fuck? All they had to do is make the boogeyman look like it's an external threat, and you'll never look in your own fucking backyard. Oh, it's a boogeyman. He's way out in the woods somewhere. Look out. He's got horns and red eyes. Oh, he's coming for you. Oh, yeah, don't look directly at him. Actually, even if you look at him, you can't see him. He's actually invisible. But forget about that fucking big scary figure standing in your backyard, right? That you can see. There's actual and imminent threat to your freedoms and liberties in this country. Don't worry about any of that fucking bullshit. Yeah, worry about the UN. Like I say, this Canada, like apparently this country, we're going to have to go through a really, really, really tough time. And I expect that's going to come. You're all going to get exactly what all that excitement that you're fucking hoping and building up for. It's going to come. It's going to come because, like I said, the proof is in the pudding that there just aren't enough Canadians thinking critically about these issues or willing to support the ones who are. Because, yeah, we're not all on the same level, folks. And as many of you fucking dipshits think that you're going to be better than me or something. And, like, I don't know, because you got more people watching your channel. Well, what are you actually doing other than maintaining the fucking state just with your particular branding? Like I say, the authoritarians are going to run rickshaw over all your dumbasses because they're playing you like a fucking fiddle, and you're going along with that because you're a bunch of dipshits. Dipshit motherfuckers in this country. I can't believe how many dipshits live in this fucking country. Well, actually, I can believe it because I've lived here my whole fucking life and I've seen it, but that's why now I don't even want to deal with many people in this country anymore. Why the fuck would I? Holy fuck. If I want to be able to hold my head up, have any self-esteem or self-respect, I don't want to associate myself with these fucking low-life losers in this country anymore. Who, like I say, they don't know how to strategize. All they do is just followers. Oh, look, the left petitions and protests. Let's do what they do. Like the left dominates the right so thoroughly these days, and the rights just keep playing, like just keep playing along. And it's like reading out of the leftist playbook and just repeating and regurgitating the same shit. Well, good luck with that, because the left's going to kick your fucking ass at it, as they have been. 100%. They've been kicking the right wingers' ass, so which is why, like, yeah, I can't even stand being that close to the right anymore, because the stench. I didn't know losers stunk that bad, but yeah, I guess you know, I don't know. Anyways, I know I'm going on a bit of a tirade, but it's fucking pathetic, folks. And then you got the antihate.ca. Here, let me share this, folks, because yeah, you're coming from all of you. They're coming for basically everyone. And like I say, keep playing into the fucking game. But when they come for you, like I say, I'm not. Yeah, they'll probably have already silenced my voice, so you won't have to worry about me standing up and defending you fucking dipshits. Nor should I even worry about doing it anymore, anyways, because you sure as fuck aren't willing to show any solidarity with me. Bunch of fucks within the PPC. And no, that's not you, Mitchell, or a couple. Like I say, a couple people in the PPC are decent. Most of them are a bunch of fucking cowards, conformists, and all they don't want to shrink the size and scope of government at all. They just want it to work for them, right? That's all it is. It's all, and they just don't like the fact that their lefty counterparts have dominated them for so long. They're so pissed off that they're losers. But you know what? You belong as losers, rightfully so. But yeah, let me show you this one here, folks. This one I found yesterday. Where did that bitch go? Yeah, here we go. Let me share this with you folks. Yeah, you better believe I'm pissed off. Very pissed off today. I can't believe that, like I say, how many of us going to be taken out before people fucking gain any courage in this country? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Anyway, so as you see, this is out of antihate.ca. And that's the other thing I seen. Mark Friesen fucking, oh, don't share that stuff around. Listen, this is a fucking reality. Pretending or ignoring a reality. And just like when people say, why are you paying attention to CBC? Because I like to know what the fucking people that want to fucking oppress me or propagandize me or the rest of my case, I want to know what they're doing. Right? I like to see what people are fucking doing. That's being observant and being astute and knowing what the fuck is going on and knowing what the hell, if you deem them as your enemy, know what your enemy's doing. Yeah, kind of important. But no, let's just pretend. You might give them what you think? I would like to ask Mark, what are you worried, huh? That some right wingers are going to propagate antihate.ca and what does that mean? Well, they're going to garner a whole new audience? No, but you might want to let your peeps in on knowing what the fuck is going on in this country, dipshit. Holy fuck. Like I say, I don't know. Sometimes I actually, now, like I said, I don't like going down these roads because I don't like putting out any information that I can't know is true or not. But sometimes I think, are some of these fucking right-wing movements in this country just a means to totally fuck everything up? Because if I could figure out a way to fuck everything up in terms of the actual liberty movement or trying to create any semblance of people having a better grasp or understand in Canada what it is to even be free, like what I've been doing for a long fucking time, or people like Stefan Molyneux have been doing for a long time, trying to get people up to speed intellectually, so they evolved intellectually so they even understand that, yeah, there's no such thing as legitimate government. You're being ruled over by a bunch of people who like to steal from you and economically and socially enslave you and your kids and grandkids. But yeah, just forget about that shit because, the UN, or, we just got to get rid of Trudeau. You can get rid of Trudeau all day long. You can put fucking Scheer or your Sloan or whoever the fuck, or Peter McKay. You're still going to get the fucking same shit. You're still going to be a slave on the same plantation called Canada. So, but yeah, just like I say, right wingers, are you right wingers meant to distract and divide, because that seems to be the only thing that these fucking right-wingers are able to do these days. And that's the only thing that they seem to be effective at doing, is dividing up people so that there's no semblance of unity, so that nobody's talking to each other. We're talking past each other. Like, to me, is it controlled opposition? I don't fucking know. I don't know, but it sure as hell does seem that way, that these right-wing movements that just sprang up, and like I say, weird. A lot of them wanted to talk, but like I say, no. They've shown me that by showing my irrelevance, tells me that they have a completely different outlook and a different goal in mind than what I did. I said, I don't want to control anyone. I don't want to use politics to benefit me or my gang at anyone else's expense. I want us all to realize that none of these fucks have any authority to control us in the ways they've been doing, right? But like I say, no. Let's make sure that my voice is silenced. But like I say, the right-wingers in this country, the ones who are just playing that fucking left-right game, yeah, they're now getting all the dominant voices, and they're not being banned. Weird, huh? Weird. And like I say, how many years ago was it now that I showed when it was first? Was it CTV? I think even CBC. Remember that thing when I told you and I covered that article that it was released, like I say, many years ago, where they have misinformation officers from CSIS, or I believe it's the CSIS or RCMP. They're out there on social media to cause confusion or to create this thing where, they're going to be the ones that are supposedly dispelling or combating misinformation. Meanwhile, they're the ones that are actually putting out the misinformation themselves. Who do you trust? People in government, CSIS, people who used to work for government? Because that's another thing. A lot of these fucking right-wingers that come from the PBC, all of them that I've dealt with, or very few exceptions, work for government in some capacity. So who do you trust? People who work for the state or previously worked for the state and seem to have a goal of dividing and not fucking doing anything proper to educate and inform the masses, just to keep the division stirred up, right? Or, like I say, someone with myself, no money, no connections, just the goal in mind is I want to live in a free country, and I want my kids to grow up in a free country, and I want my grandkids to ultimately grow. That's my goal. So who the fuck are you going to trust at the end of the day, right? Anyways, keep trusting these dipshits, but you'll see that I believe it'll prove in the long run that, like I say, years and years are going to go by, and people will come to the realization, yeah, you were falling them right straight off the cliff, you dipshits, and now you got a long ways back to backtrack, and everyone else is way far ahead of you, out by a mile, right? But anyways, so antihate.ca. So here's what they got here. Far right hoping for violence at their July 1st rally on Parliament Hill. Far right hoping for violence at their July 1st rally on Parliament Hill. Maxime Bernier and the People's Party of Canada are co-opting the event. This was reported June 29th, 2020. But I mean, if you read this crap, and I'm not going to waste much time, it's a bunch of fucking, as much as, like I say, I'm not a fan of some of these fucking PPC and these right-winger dipshits. And, sure, some of them in there are probably exactly what these people accuse them of, no doubt about it. But the way this is done in such a collective manner, this is a hit piece. And like I say, it's almost like they're playing right into their fucking hand. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. But yeah, it wasn't just the PPC in there, but yeah, I believe, was it Stefan Molyneux, I think, was even mentioned in this one as well. So like I say, the left is hell-bent in taking everyone down, and they're just going to divide us all up. And like I say, it's working. And the people, Maxime Bernier and the PPC, they're going right along with it too, I guess, by playing into, like I say, rather than taking principle stance and sticking to them, they're trying to play or cater to that right side of the political spectrum, because that is now the base that is basically taken over the PPC. So I guess the PPC is like, well, it's the only people that we're paying attention to us now or whatever, so we'll just cater to them. Well, okay, well, you go ahead and do so. But like I say, it's not going to work out very well for you, because you're leaving out a lot of people that, like I say, were here long before the PPC and will be here long after the PPC. But yeah, what else was it here? Yeah, the tweet included a link to Friesen's Forum for Canadian Sovereignty website. So, they're talking about the that whole thing. Oh, yeah. Friesen has promoted individuals like white supremacist vlogger Stefan Molyneux and tweeted a racist cartoon aimed at NDP leader. So, like I say, they're doing this whole thing to tie. And like I say, they're going to win. They're going to win that battle. Why? Because, like I say, all the people who should be showing unity and solidarity with each other, and like I've said so many times, putting the petty differences aside and supporting each other, haven't done so because, like I say, they want to take control. They think they have all the, well, you'll find out. Like, you go ahead and look for that control. You go ahead and look for that control. I think it was a stupid fucking thing to do, to try to be so divisive, but it is what it is. Then you get three percenters, Northern, basically anyone, Dan Dix. I mean, basically, hate preacher Arthur Pawlowski and former Wexit leader Pat King. So even Pat King, like I say, they're constantly. I don't know. I never looked into it long enough, but wonder if I'm listed in there. I don't know. Like I say, I guess the one thing about most people ignoring me these days and overlooking me, I guess the one good thing I can take away from it is apparently nobody knows who the hell I am, so I'm not being included in here. And maybe that might be another thing that's done purposely, right? Irrelevance is better, especially someone like myself who actually doesn't even get into the whole. So that's the thing. The reason why they can go after Molyneux, and I know what he does. What he talks about is not racist and stuff, but because he does talk about, racial disparity between IQ and all that shit, like they use that as an excuse to take him down, right? So, but I don't play that game. Like I say, I've tried to basically perfect and make sure that I'm sticking within the rules of anything, no matter how ridiculous. I'm going to make sure that no matter what they do, they're not going to be able to take me out because, like I say, they would have to go above and beyond and show their cards entirely in order to ban me, right? Whereas they can use political cover and suggest, oh, well, Molyneux is a white supremacist. Well, because if you give them the fodder, they're going to use it, right? If you give them the ability to use something against you, they are going to use it. I don't give them shit. I won't give them shit, right? And actually, it's not even a matter of giving. It's just I am me. I am definitely a unique individual. That is for certain. But I am me. And there's nothing, like I say, because for one, I just know 100% nothing. There's nothing you can say in my history, whether it's online or in the real world. You can't even find any example where anyone would be able to say, oh, Bennett's racist. Why? Because, like I say, I've never lived that way. I've never been that way. So, like I say, some days I feel pretty fucking bulletproof because they have nothing to target me for. And because they have nothing to target me for, well, someone like me, well, it's better just to ignore them. But if you get something where you can target you, well, then they'll attack you. And as you see, a lot of these people are given lots of fodder for them to attack, and they're attacking them and taking them out one by one. A lot of them off one at a time. But yeah, wait till there's nobody left, and that'd be a good time to try. But anyways, like I say, this is a fairly long article. But yeah, they're coming after everyone, folks. They're coming after anyone that challenges the status quo. And like I say, it's not going to work out good. It's not going to work out good by any stretch of the imaginations. But anyways, just so you know, Stefan Molyneux is on BitChute. Check out his channel on BitChute. And he hasn't got all of his videos up there, but let me just pull it up here. And even by covering this, well, I didn't monetize this video. Of course not. But even by covering this, I take the risk that YouTube might try messing with me, right? But you know what? Like I say, I just don't care. I think because I have such a little voice and only a couple hundred views to them, I'm sure to YouTube and to the algorithms, like, who cares? This is just some guy standing out in the middle of the woods yelling fucking shit, right? Nobody's paying attention to him anyway. So, but actually,
whenever something like this happens,
let me, so Stefan Molyneux, so he does have 46,000, I believe, subscribers on BitChute. So that's great. How many videos does he got? Does he have all of them up there? Well, no, but he's got 1,613 of his videos up there. So I would say most of the important ones are already up on BitChute. So definitely, if you have not already, subscribe to Stefan Molyneux on BitChute, I definitely highly recommend you do so, because you're not going to be able to get his content on YouTube anymore, that's for sure. Or, of course, you can always go to his channel, Free Domain, and get it in podcast form, audio only, because that is his own domain, his own website. So definitely check that out. Here, let me show you folks here. So like I say, if you check it out here, Stefan Molyneux on BitChute, largest, most popular philosophy show on the web with over 650 million downloads and is 100% funded by viewers like you. Please support the show by making a one-time donation or sign up for a monthly recurring donation. Anyways, like you say, so it was created a couple years, well, almost 3 years ago. It's got 1,613 videos on there, 46,000 and so subscribers, almost 1.5 million views. So even on BitChute, he's got a fairly decent presence, and I'm expecting these numbers will probably go up much higher now as a consequence of this. But anyways, let me get into the stream and hear what everyone's saying after I've gone on a little bit of a tirade. Because yeah, I'm pissed off, folks. This, like I say, a lot of people that work really hard to do these kinds of things and are being taken out constantly. I discovered a few hours ago, it's just unprecedented. I was watching his channel for over 6 years. Yep. Hey, what's going on, Wilhelm Friedrich? Yeah, it's fucking sickening. Like I say, the man has in terms of influence, in terms of understanding, you know, the importance of philosophy and all that entails and what it is to be, he has definitely contributed tremendously to my own current knowledge and wisdom in terms of these things. He's one of a very select few that early on helped me, like I say, get up to speed and understand things tremendously. He has an amazing gift in how he can, put words to his thoughts and the things that he philosophizes regarding. Right. So, yeah, I'm very upset this morning to hear that this happened and this took place. But I mean, it's going to continue to take place until people, like I say, until people get their fucking heads out of their ass and stop playing this bullshit left-right game. Like, you know, if you continue playing the left-right game, well, that's the future you got. You can fucking fight me. You can bitch. You can whine. You can moan. You can fucking do whatever the fuck you want. I really don't give a shit, but I know I'm right, and I'll prove I'm fucking right in due time. Keep playing the left-right game. Go right ahead. But like I say, you're not losing or you're not winning anything, and neither is anyone. Like I say, you're failing yourself, and you're failing fucking Canadian society and your kids. You're failing tremendously if you're still playing the left-right divide and not realizing the true us versus them are the authoritarians versus the libertarians. That's what it is at the end of the day. And if you don't want to say, if you don't like the word libertarian, if you get triggered by that fucking shit because you've heard someone else use it in the wrong way, like, that's the thing. Libertarian, just self-ownership, property rights, and the non-aggression principle. Pretty fucking simple concepts in reality. Well, I mean, once you understand them properly. But like I say, you got to get out of this left-right. That is how they divide us. Divvy us all up. Identity politics. The left are great at it, but the right are doing the exact same thing by only catering to what they deem as people that's of the same ilk or the same ideology. And if that's all you're going to cater to, well, I'll just tell you right now, there's just not enough right-wingers. You're going to lose, especially in anything remotely resembling a democracy such as Canada. You're going to lose at the ballot box every motherfucking time. So I don't know. But if you just want to keep pretending, right, go ahead, keep pretending, but it's not going to help your situation or anyone else's. How to reason with the unreasonable? Well, you can't. You can't. That's what I keep telling the people. Listen, when you're talking about, like, it's not abstract. It's not just a thought fucking experiment. The people in this country that want to economically enslave you are your own fucking people. Stop looking to, like I say, stop looking to external threats. Ooh, the immigrants pouring across the border. Now, I'm not a fan of immigrants pouring across the border. Why? Because I recognize that is suppressing wages for the domestic slaves and serfs in this country already, the working class in this country, the ones at the lower end of the social economy. But it has nothing to do with the color of the fucking skin or where they come from. in terms of the Middle East or Africa. I don't give a shit about that because I recognize probably some of these people from the Middle East and Africa who have been oppressed by their own regimes for so long probably would be more aligned with someone like myself. Be like, yeah, let's get into freedom. Yeah, fuck skin color. Yeah, who gives a shit about that? Yeah, freedom, liberty. Yeah. So, like I say, get out of this fucking white bullshit. Get out of the race bullshit entirely. And like I say, the only people that you should be associating or aligning with or showing any respect with or helping in any way are the people who are willing to give you your freedoms. And if you got members of your family, your fucking coworkers, or whatever the hell, your neighbor and people that you think, oh, we just disagree politically. Oh yeah, like I say, ask them to their fucking face. Do you respect my liberties enough to give me my rights? If I don't want to have any portion of my income taken from me by government, stolen against my will, would you support me in that? Oh no, we got to have taxation. We got to pay for this. Well, that's someone telling you, fuck you. I don't give a shit about your freedoms or liberty. I want someone to steal from you because I want my thing. I want mine. And if I can't afford to get mine, I'm going to force you to pay for it. Or I'm going to force 1,000 you to pay for it. Or like I say, all these people's like, oh yeah, well, I'm against people who have a few drinks while they're out there on the trail on their four-wheeler, right? All right. Well, if those are the kind of people in your family or you're like, this, like I say, I'm speaking from experience. Anyone in my family? Yeah. I've shrunk my circle a lot. Why? Because I won't fucking associate or align with or hang around. And you know what? They miss me tremendously. I hear people, they still try to contact me. They still try. Fuck you. You're dead to me if you're goddamn well. If you support socially or economically enslaving me, you're fucking dead to me. And you're never going to benefit from anything like I say. What you want your car fixed? Oh, I might have done that when I thought that you actually respected my liberties, but nah, I ain't going to do shit for you. Matter of fact, if I drive by, I see you on the side of the road in the fucking ditch somewhere. Oh, well, too bad, so sad. Remember how you said that you want to fucking economically and socially enslave me? You want to use government as a means to control my life? Okay, well, you go ahead and do so. But then what you get on the other side of that is what I've fucking showed with my real life. But like I say, until we get enough Canadians who are willing to do that, like I say, over 4.1 million Canadians work for government. You know, each and every one of you might even yourself work for the government. If you're working for the government, you're the one that's actually on the wrong side. And, oh, but if we leave, there'll only be, listen, let the bad people all gravitate to government because then, like I say, finally, then the spectacle will be revealed for what it is. Right now, like I say, they can manipulate things because there are some good people, some bad. It's like, no. Don't support or sustain a system that is actively trying to suppress and deny you your inherent and inalienable rights, freedoms, liberties. And anyone else that does support that kind of shit, if you still, like I say, align or associate with those kind of people, and you're not holding them, to at least a decent standard, then, well, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you other than they'll smile at your face, but then as soon as you turn your back, they laugh at you because you just keep going along to get along, right? But yeah, you can't reason with the unreasonable. You can't, right? You cannot reason with the unreasonable, which is why start creating your own communities of liberty. It has to start from the grassroots, from the ground up. You can't vote it in. You're not going to vote for your fucking freedoms. That is not going to happen. How you gain your freedoms is, like I say, starting from your home and work it outwards. And even more importantly, like Stefan Molyneux has said so many more times before, stop fucking, if you don't like the violence or the abuse of the state or the contradictions, then stop reciprocating that bullshit in your own fucking personal life or in your own household. If you're beating your own kids, right? And you're treating them like second-class citizens, and you're constantly displaying to them that it's might makes right, not doing the right thing or not being principled in your ideas, not holding yourself to the kind of principles you try to espouse to your kids, then once again, you're going to end up with another fucking generation of kids growing up with that same goddamn mindset is do unto thee or do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. And I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. Be principled and stop giving the people who aren't the leg up over you. That's what my anyways, let me go on here. I'm so happy I live in Central Europe, the West of the U.S. as freedom center as any. Yeah, well, I mean, I still hold out hope for the U.S. Canada, though, Canada not looking so good. Way worse than US. At least the US is having a vigorous battle, which means they've still got the gumption, right? That's the thing. When you're like, look at the US, that massive amount of dysfunction. So that's the thing. People get this weird concept. Oh, look at the US, look at this spectacle. Listen, the reason why the US is such a spectacle of disarray and seemingly a lot of fighting and conflict is because the people who do care about the freedoms are fucking vigorously standing in defense of it, right? Now, some of them have the wrong perceptions in what is even deemed freedom or liberty, right? So 100% there. But they're all, whether they're on the right or left, they're all actively displaying convictions and courage to stand up and fight for their pretense of freedoms or their truth. What's happening in Canada? Nothing. Most of them are just fucking rolling over and playing dead and just bowing to the conformity and saying, listen, it's just too much effort. It's just too much work. It's just too much angst and anxiety. And I just don't want to have to get into that conversation with my I don't know, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, mother, father, whatever, son, daughter. I just don't want to. Let's just pretend everything's okay, right? That's what's mostly actively happening and taking place in Canada. So it looks like, oh, well, you guys are doing. No, it's just massive dysfunction. It's massive dysfunction. The only reason why you can't see it is because Canadians are too, I don't know what, proud to actually publicly display the reality that they live. They have to put on a fucking facade, and it's a fake facade. I mean, come on, this country, like the people in this country are miserable as fuck, especially these dipshits in government. You know, you can't, if you work for government, you know, you're not fucking happy working for that fucking shithole. Either that or you're a sick individual. If you do, you know how fucking shit fucking of a job or occupation and how fucking collectivist and how, just soul destroying and crushing it is. But like I say, people, well, I got to get a paycheck. It's like the fear of the unknown, the fear of change, the fear of the courage of your conviction, fear. At least the American people, as much as, like I say, it's a spectacle to behold, no doubt about it, but they're fucking actively participating in their fight for freedom at the very least. So I got to at least respect them for that. They're useless yes men. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a lot of fucking useless yes men in this country. People like you are a minority. It sucks, but it's true. People demand their own enslavement. It's pathetic. That is true. Yes, I am. I am big time minority. I always have been and always will be. Hey guys, what's going on, Gato? What's going on, Brent Alderson? As much as libertarian can't handle the truth that people are wild animals and need to be governed, most importantly, the young. As much as a libertarian can't handle the truth that people are wild animals and need to be governed, most importantly, the young. That people are wild. Okay, like, so this Brent Alderson has obviously never, not once, you've never seen, like, it's even come up in mean form and been passed around quite a few times, right? That if you believe, right, and I'm just going with your own rhetoric, Brent, watch how this works, man. Watch how this works. You might learn something. So that people are wild animals and need to be governed. So the pretense of Brent Alderson's comment here is people are just, they're wild beasts, man. They're wild animals. There's just bad people among us and they need to be governed. So we need some people to be in charge and have that monopoly of force or violence to actively control those wild animals among us. Hey, here's a thought experiment for you there, Brent. Have you ever considered that those wild animals that you speak of, and yes, they exist, so not even denying it here, that they might, just maybe, actually use government, that monopoly of force or violence, as a means to impose their will and their mandates and edicts on all those other people that actually are not actively out pursuing power or acting like wild animals. Because that's the other thing, Brent. We're individuals there, man. So I don't know if you're a wild animal. You might be, because you like to talk about them that way. Maybe you're one of those wild animals that maybe you're projecting. Maybe you feel that, well, I need someone to control me. Well, I needed authoritarian daddy to really put the fucking fear of God in me, kid, because I was a little hellion. I was one of those people that used to put little fucking kitty cats between fucking logs and roll them towards each other, or put them in plastic bags and drown them. Maybe you're one of those fucking people, Brent, but don't project your bullshit onto others, man. Some people in this world actually aren't wild animals. Some of us are actually civilized. Imagine that. But see, I perceive as people as individuals. So I recognize some are, some aren't. But you like to think in that collective term, right? But you need the holier than thou people, the benevolent, the superior, the morally, the ethically superior to dominate and control those wild animals. Without, like I say, without even, your brain doesn't even obviously comprehend the fact that, yeah, if you set up an institution or a governing body where it has a monopoly of force or violence, and not only a monopoly of force or violence, but control over people's monetary system, or the worth or value of their labor, or what they provide in society, aka central banks, right? Which, yeah, government-owned central banks. They're not fucking private. They're an act of legislation. That's another thing people fucking call, oh, but they're private banks. No, they're created through an act of legislation, which is once again government. But once again, yeah, give some people in society and a minority, but yeah, give them a minority, this minority of these people that you pretend that are all these benevolent actors, right? That just are holier than thou. They just got their wings, right? Yeah, give them all the power of the world, all the gun, and the control over the printing press, so that you can control those wild animals, right? Like I say, meanwhile, the wild animals, the really wild animals are like, oh, ooh, actually, it's really hard for me if I want to go steal from my neighbor. Fuck, if I do it as just a wild, lowly, wild animal, I actually have to go do that myself. Ooh, and my neighbor might catch me, might beat the living fuck out of me, might shoot me, might, ooh, that could be dangerous. But hey, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Brent Alderson and people like him, they've created this entity where I don't have to do any of that shit myself. I just got to put on a $5,000 pinstripe suit, get really good at my rhetoric, and suggest that I am now the authority. I don't have to go steal from them. I just say, to be a decent, peaceful society, we need to have rampant theft. I mean, taxation on a rampant scale. I demand that you pay me 25% of your, and then the people that don't do it, well, like I say, you just punish and penalize them until they conform, right? But yeah, give them that power, Brent. Yeah, that's a good idea. We got to worry about the bad people in society, so let's give those bad people this thing called government, where they can be even worse than they are as if they were individual actors or groups that didn't have any pretense of authority. Like I say, try thinking about something a little bit more critically once in a while. And yeah, I'm not going to be a nice guy in this stream, so if you piss me off, you're going to get it back. You're getting a tongue lashing. If you talk smack, yeah, I'm going to fucking knock your smack down, because I'm tired of listening to people that, once again, you don't know your shit from a hole in the ground. Go back, learn some shit. And when you finally realize that you actually, oh yeah, that's the thing. Even me, as much as I'm obviously much more knowledgeable in terms of liberty than you could ever be, but I even recognize that the more I learn, the more I realize there's still lots more to learn. But I guess you think you've got it all figured out, do you there, Brent? What the fuck? Anyways, what the hell? People, like I say, follow people like Brent there. They'll fucking lead you right off that cliff. I hear you, Brendan Clarehan, but it's rough, man. It's rough. You supported me in the past, and I'm still doing it on mine. Seeing how many people are banned from YouTube, I guess I was ahead of the curve. Yeah. Well, like I say, I knew. That's why I've been on these alternative platforms, because yeah, I have redundancy built in. I know the writing's on the wall, but like I say, for me, I think that like the way YouTube, and they demonetized my video saying that I had hateful content. So they're actively suppressing mine too, but it's because I have such a small voice, right? And so few people follow me. They don't have to step up to do things like banning my channel entirely. Not that they wouldn't. No doubt in my mind that if I ever did gain any traction again and had the ability to get my videos out there and more people watch them, no doubt in my mind that YouTube would eventually come around to banning me. But like I say, I have redundancy built in. The problem is none of this stuff means shit unless we're getting people. Like, to me, I don't care about a lot of this stuff. Is just such a fucking, like, I'm even tired of even talking about it, because none of it really means anything at the day until to me, my goal is the same as it's been all along. Now, do I have to deal with shit as the real life's playing out? Yeah, but it's like I say, we got to get people thinking critically about things. You got to tell people that statism is a religion, and stop believing that you're supposed to be a slave, subject, or serf to a ruling class until you can get at least a substantial portion of the Canadian population on board and adopting, some critical thinking skills and break them free from their fucking Stockholm syndrome, right? Like until that can happen, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. Well, it's actually going to continue to get worse. And like I say, the only way that that's ever going to take place is if people start to accept that some people know what they're talking about, others don't, and are just playing political divide. And it's actually, like I say, a detriment. They have these people that are playing the left-right game have set back the liberty movement in Canada, and people like myself who have been working fucking hard for years to try to build it up have set it back fucking years now. And you know, how much work do I want to put back in every time I build something up, somebody comes along and fucking knocks it down. It's like a bird, a fucking pigeon coming shitting on the chessboard. Like at some point in time, it's like, I'm just folding the fucking thing up. I'm not playing here no more. Fuck that shit, right? Every time I turn around, somebody comes along and tries to shit in the fucking chessboard after I worked so hard, right? And did all the moves and did like, yeah, go ahead. Like I say, but eventually at some point in time, but yeah, Norbert Cousin BitChute, definitely check that out. Molyneux is not a threat. This is officially not cool. Of course he's not a threat. He's an anarchist libertarian that advocates for, you know, peaceful human cooperation, free market cap. I mean, you know, he does not advocate for violence or hate or any of that stuff that he's being accused of. We know that. But once again, the media, the establishment media, they love to silence and suppress them. And now even the dominant players in the alternative media, now you've got two sides, right? Of those who are the thought leaders, opinion makers, or those who want to be the thought leaders, opinion makers. Like I say, they're making sure they can tamp down and quash any voices out there that challenge them. The establishment media are trying because they want to maintain their structure of power, and the new media outlets want to maintain their new dominance in the media realm, on the internet, right? So they're all battling for supremacy and destroying anybody's ability to challenge them. And what the fuck, like I say, how are we going to have any chance? All we really have to push back, I mean, we got it. Like, first of all, we've got the power of truth and the power of ideas. So that we've got. But without being able to spread the truth and those ideas, like those ideas and that truth, it's so powerful. It truly can put the authoritarians, rock their very foundations and put them back on their heels. But it can't unless enough people are speaking that truth and armed with that kind of knowledge. And if you don't, and if you're not helping other people to get up to speed and get to that point, well, like I say, it's a losing battle. Alex Jones was first and no one batted an eyelash. They have now successfully made it to Stefan Molyneux, one of the most intellectual people of our time. Fucking leftists. Yeah, 100%, Kevin. 100%. And it's, like I say, it's terrible. It's terrible. And actually, as I'm watching, even as I'm doing this stream, like I said, I don't know if it's YouTube or like, could you fucking share? YouTube is not doing it. If you're watching this stream, you know how to fucking share, right? Like I'm seeing 20 people. 20 people ain't going to fucking change this fucking country, folks. Oh my God. Would you, like I say, I got to take a minute. And when people say, oh, but I just don't know because YouTube didn't give me a notification of your, well, like I say, I've never had to rely on YouTube because especially now that I know that YouTube does give me notifications for when people upload new videos, I don't have to be notified when Stefan Molyneux uploads a new video. Why? Because I go to his fucking channel. If I don't see him in the recommended section, you know, in a day or two, it's like, what's up? I know he regularly uploads all the time. So how come I'm not seeing a Molyneux video in my recommended section? Oh, okay. Well, let me check. Go straight to Stefan Molyneux on YouTube, or at least I used to be able to. Oh, look, there's the videos that I missed, and I'll get to watch them. Which means not only do I get to support Stefan Molyneux, and he gets to get his views and the likes, you know, and the shares, but I also get that information at the same time. Whereas, like I say, most of the people apparently that frequent my channel, well, geez, and I've heard this said and espoused by so many fucking people once again. Well, I just don't get notifications. Hey, I didn't know, man. I didn't know you were like still making videos. Like, really? You ever tried actually going to my channel? That's like saying, yeah, man, I didn't know you were home. Yeah, I thought you left the country. Well, did you ever try calling me? No. Did you ever try coming to my door? No. Well, how the fuck do you think you're going to fucking know if I'm here or not if you don't actually... It's like, might want to do that. Right? It's like, what the hell? What the fuck? Which is why I even wonder if some of you dipshits, some of you, like I say, that do are you these dipshit right wingers that constantly or I don't know, some CSIS agents that are actively trying to suppress my content. I don't, like I say, I can't even imagine what the reason is behind it. But yeah, if you're not helping spread people like myself, oh, now it's gone down even more. Yeah, no matter what I do. Anyways, like I say, it is what it is. He said, you people censored tomorrow. Like I say, whatever. What the fuck? Oh no, 19 people won't be able to see me if they fucking, like, that's the other thing. If they get rid of my channel, what? I lose 19 people who watch my woo. Actually, yes, the UN is alive and well in Canada. Don't you remember? Trudeau signed the UN immigration ban. See this fucking guy? See? Do you see? This is why we can't have nice things. It's these dipshits. Like, is this guy? I don't know. Maybe he's one of those people, like I say, like, to fucking suggest that the UN controls Canada, right? That's what this person is literally trying to say. Oh, we got to worry about the UN, right? But yet, don't you remember Trudeau signed the Trudeau. Who's got power over you? UN or Trudeau? Brent. Like I say, fucking, I like go test your IQ. There's lots of online IQ tests. I'm gonna take a stab at it here. You just barely cracked the 100s, the 3 digits. I just barely cracked them. Go try it out. Tell me if I'm wrong. Fucking dipshit. Fucking retards, man. Fucking handy quacks. Global media has a but people, I kind of agree with you, Dustin, but like I said, people, if you allow people to control you, then can I really blame the controllers, or am I blaming the people who are allowing themselves to be controlled? Right. So everyone is in the pocket of global media. Well, they're allowing it to happen. Right. But I get you. I get what you're saying. Bye. Don't let the door hit you. He called me a name. Bye, Brent. Yeah. Can't look further than. No, what it is I'm tired of dealing with dipshits like yourself that pretend that you know something, and you're just, like I say, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking knuckle dragger that obviously have not put in even remotely the time and effort and work into being astute or knowledgeable or observant in anything of the topics that's being discussed here. You're a fucking knuckle dragger. You're like a guy, like, even when I'm building engines and shit, as a person that's done that for many, you can tell someone that actually knows engines, right? And then you can tell the person that's like, oh, look, it's a noob, right? Listen, nobody respects the noob trying to dominate or control the conversation, right? When you're talking about building engines, nor am I going to sit and listen to a bunch of fucking knuckle draggers or someone like yourself that obviously, like say, doesn't even have a firm grasp or understanding of any of these philosophical concepts, and you're going to try to talk smack. Of course I'm going to call you name, because you're a fucking idiot. So like I say, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Fucking dipshit. Yeah, bullshit big time, Brian Strader. Bullshit big time. And yeah, this video is definitely not being monetized. I'd say there's a fair amount of swearing or slang. Oh, did I trigger you with my swearing, Brent? Yep. Yo, sup all. COVID and Mother Nature is canceled. Greta's pissed. Yeah. 5318. Oh, boob? No, 8008. Well, that's quite the handle there. The fuck? Where are these names coming? Greta is so angry that COVID isn't killing us. I'm preaching the considerate theorist. I see actually there's some new peeps here in the chat. If you folks wouldn't mind, right, hitting that fucking like button, because that's another thing that fucking really grinds my fucking gears. And I've said this many times before. And like I say, I don't give a shit. Listen, if me holding you to a standard that's a little bit above knuckle dragging bothers you, then don't like my shit. Don't watch my shit. Because tell you the truth, I don't fucking care to cater to or coddle people like that, because you're going to exist in this fucking country or in this world anyway. So what the fuck ever. But like I say, at some point in time, as much as you're, oh, I'm so mad that Bennett said this. Like I say, get mad at me all you want, but at the end of the day, you'll know that I was 100% fucking right. So that's really, that's what matters to me most. Making sure that I am taking the proper stance and the principal position and not giving a shit about your feels, right? I don't give a shit about your feels. Don't really care. But yeah, I'm in a preachy mood today. The considerate theorist, the comments today. Cow farts oppress Mother Nature. Okay, like, but that's not, listen, I did not start this stream. This has already been ran through by police, so if anything, the police would be on it with what the left is saying because they believe in ACIB. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. The right is becoming a carbon copy of the left because the left is becoming too extreme. So the left is migrating to the right with their leftist ideas. So the Overton window is going to the left. Yeah. And like I say, the right are going to get their ass kicked. If trying to play in that fucking space with the left, like they're going to get dominated by the left. First of all, like I say, because the left has the power of fucking numbers and they have all the cultural drivers that influence people's ideas. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, like I say, if you're a right winger, at least think strategically. For fuck's sakes. The left has academia. They have the media, like the establishment media. They now dominate like online media, right? The big players in particular. Like I said, academia, establishment media, alternative media, government for the most part. I mean, what else? Basically, I mean, Hollywood, like movies, music, television, fucking, they dominate so many of the cultural drivers. And it's those cultural drivers is what helps to influences people's perspectives and opinions. And the right thinks that they can just go around what? And that's the other thing. Even this fucking protest in fucking Ottawa, it was months in the fucking making. Like, holy fuck. And like, anyways, like, yeah. Well, like I say, the right, and once again, I'm not picking either sides, but yeah, if I was someone's like, there's a battle between the two, who's right now, the left is completely dominating. And the scary part is rather than coming up with, hey, geez, maybe we could do something different. All the right, I guess they sit around like, okay, the left is completely dominating us these days. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Like, there's got to be something. I guess the best idea was someone in the back of the room said, hey, how about we replicate and do exactly what they're doing? It seems to be working out quite successful for them. And then what? Everyone, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, if the left can do it, we can do it too. Well, yeah, they can. But like I said, the left, that's their fucking, like, that's their playing field, right? That's their space where they dominate. That's where they're good at. That's what they're good at. But you're going to what? Reinvent the wheel and going to show the left how to become social justice warriors or collectivists. It's like, are you going to pretend to be better ones? Maybe you should try a different strategy entirely, like I say, but I don't know. Competition has been beaten so thoroughly out of Canadians because most Canadians have never had to be competitive fucking barely ever in their fucking life, right? So it's been beaten so thoroughly that so many Canadians, like, they just forget about being competitive in any way or come up with new or innovative ideas. It's just hey, look, there must be something we could try again. If it didn't work the first time, well, maybe we just tweak it or tinker around the edges that it'll work better this time. Oy vey. But yeah, the right is useless today because they are not opposing the right in any way. They support all the social changes we are seeing today, and things are changing. Exactly. The right is basically just a carbon copy, like you were saying, to the left. Fucking bunch of losers, useless. And they think that if they virtue signal, like I say, the left is never going to, you can virtue signal to your heart's content, like to the LGBT community, to the whatever, right? You can play this race fucking card bullshit, right wingers. You can do all that crap. But the people are not, they're not going to transition or shift away from being leftists to just automatically gravitate into becoming what, right wingers now? Like, I just so fucking weird. How, like I say, I don't know. Is it incompetence, or are they controlled opposition that are just meant to keep this fucking keep us all divided long enough till the establishment or the new establishment has entrenched their power entirely? Like, I don't know. Seems to be a, or if it's not what they're gunning for, well, it's how it's working out. Thank you, Edward Teach. Appreciate that. I'm not awesome. I'm just a really pissed off, frustrated Canadian who, yeah, one thing I will say is I work hard to make sure that I like every endeavor I've ever taken. And there's nothing to me that's more infuriating than someone that puts so much hard work and effort into things. And then people like fucking Brent or other people like so many times come along and they just try to tear you down by sheer fact that they think that, I don't know, like, that's why without anything that's provably objective, like it's so hard. If everything's in this objective realm, then how do we know who's truly better? Like I say, that's why and I've said this many times before, that's why most of my life I prefer single individual sports in terms of competition, because there's no fucking way you can pretend who's fucking better or less. Like you can't manipulate, the outcome, in a one-on-one fucking race with someone, right? It's like, no, I went, especially if it's done properly and, in a timed manner. That is why I like say drag racing is so great, because once you break the beams and you cross that line at the 1320, like there's no way to manipulate or trick things. And you'll know who won, right? The proof is right there in the pudding, and it's all properly recorded. And hey, you can record it and watch it in slow motion too, right? So, but when things are in the intellectual or the philosophical realm, or especially when you're talking about fucking politics, people have that's the thing with politics, because politics is placed in the subjective realm. People are, oh no, my politics, no, none of your politics are correct. No, philosophy, truth, things that can be proven to be objectively true by like experimenting with the universality of your statement. That's how you test your hypothesis and see if it's actually critically correct, to the point where there's no objections or there's no contradictions. But like I say, in politics, everyone thinks they're right. That's the problem. In politics, everyone thinks they're fucking right. Everyone wants their fucking, I don't know, participation trophies. Like, well, okay, but like I say, how do you ever you can't gather a rally around anything unless it's an idea. And that's why, to me, I'm all about philosophy, the ideas, right? The pursuit of truth and knowledge. I rally around an idea, not people, or not ideologies, but ideas themselves. And I mean ideas that can be proven to be objectively true and wholly consistent. Without that, then once again, you're just in the subjective realm, and then you're just playing that game as a blue's better than red. Oh, all right. Good luck with that argument. Yeah, Left Slayer. I hear you. No censorship on Parler. And actually, I seen my son posted this morning that he made a Parler account. I suppose I'm going to have to now, but I'm on so many other social media platforms, man. Can we stop trying to reinvent the fucking wheel so many times here, folks? Like I say, there's already, when you think about people like Bill Ottman that created Minds, or Andrew Torba that created these guys put in, and not just them, but all these people put in so much fucking work and effort to create alternative platforms where we can gather around and have, the ability to speak freely. And then everyone just creates. I mean, I'm glad there's lots of them, but it's like, where the fuck, the more you create, it's like, well, now it's like there's a million needles and a million different haystacks. Like, it just makes things so difficult, which is why, to me, I thought it was important early on, but I see it's a failing endeavor. I thought it was really early on, which is why I've stayed active on the dominant players. To me, it's like, I don't want to vacate the space. I don't want to give the authoritarian leftists the ability to push me out of the town hall or the public square, right? I wanted to be able to stand there, stand my fucking ground, say, no, I'm staying here and I'm speaking freely because I'm doing all the right things. Yeah, I'm standing in the town square or the town hall, the proverbial online town hall or town square, so like, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. But hey, I'm even following all the rules that you're telling me I have to. But once again, there's still finding ways that even when you're following all the rules and doing everything right, they're basically still trying to find ways to push you out of the square. But I'm not the kind of person that's going to actively put my tail between my legs, turn around, and just walk away. I'm going to stand and fight. I'm going to stand my ground as best I can. But I don't know, I guess most people are vacating the space. Maybe that's actually where most of the people that do align with me, maybe they're all in some of these other alternative platforms and outlets. Maybe that's where they are. But once again, then if that's the case, and I'm glad we have these alternative platforms, but once again, now you've ceded ground and given the leftists, the authoritarian collectivists, they now dominate these players, which is, I would imagine, right, how they dominate government, government, they dominate academia, they dominate media, the old dinosaur media. Why that is because, yeah, all the people that should have stood their ground and been firm in their convictions and their principles, right, have all vacated their space, vacated their positions, and allowed, like I say, the worst, the authoritarians among us to, like I say, dominate that space now. So that's what happened. So that's the strategy these days is let's just all, like I say, let's all retreat to our own private islands, right? Where we can all sit and circle jerk or function in an echo chamber, sit around a fire and sing Kumbaya. But meanwhile, like I say, the rest of the world burns down around us. Well, okay, it's pretty cool to be in that island, but at some point in time, you might want to travel elsewhere, to seek out food or energy or something, right? I don't know. Like I say, I don't want to vacate the space. I want to stay on these platforms, but I keep getting the message time and time again. No, as much as I'm willing to stay in the fight and fight as hard as I can and put up with all the bullshit they throw at me, well, my supporters aren't willing to stand in solidarity with me while I am, putting on the fight. I can't, I'm being starved out of existence here. Even I can't monetize this video. I can't monetize most of my videos these days. So I'm basically being starved out of existence, not being compensated in any way for what I'm doing anymore. Even fucking people that used to donate don't do much anymore. Although I do tell people don't donate in terms of the super chat. Please do so in terms of like an e-transfer or PayPal. My PayPal account, it's like fucking collecting dust. Patreon, yeah. $19. I mean, for years I've had a Patreon account and I do upload from there. I mean, like I say, but that's the thing. People in Canada, what do you expect people like myself to just constantly be able to do all this shit with one hand, 1 foot time of back? No economic support, or not even people's willingness to help share or spread my information or to stand solidarity with me on these space. So I do have a voice, right? Like I say, I can't do it all. I can't do it all. You have no clue who really rules the world. Dude, nobody has any clue. Oh, this is another one. Are we going to get into that bullshit? Really? You have no idea. Talk to your fucking neighbor sometime and ask them why they support taxation, and ask them if it's because of I don't know what Jewish people, right? I mean, like I say, these fucking things don't do anything to help the situation, right? They don't do one fucking bit of good to try to take an entire group or subsect of humanity and say, oh, it's all their fault, man. No. Personal responsibility. It's the fault of the 30-some million Canadians who are allowing their fucking selves and the rest of their fellow Canadians to be economically and socially enslaved by the ruling elite that they call themselves the true liberals, or the conservatives, or the NDP. Or the central bankers, like Polas, or whoever this new dipshit is. No, there's real individuals who have real power to dictate and control every aspect of your social and economic life. And it comes by way of government. It has nothing to do with whether they're Jewish, whether they wear a fucking hat, or whether their skin is brown or white, or none of that. It's all about conformity to rulers. That's what it comes. Who the rulers are? To me, I don't give a shit who hey, if they're all a bunch of fucking lizard people at some point in time, like some other conspiracy nuts like to try to say, wouldn't matter. Like I say, don't matter if they're fucking Cabbage Patch Kids in disguise, lizard people. Oh, the big scary lizard people. None of that. Who they are, what they look like. It's the fact that people believe that these people are supposed to have authority over them. That's the problem. Not who their authority is, but the belief in authority, the belief in having rulers, the belief that taxation is just the price we pay to have a civilized society, as that fucking dipshit teacher on Twitter that replied to me. And yeah, I screen captured that shit. It's on my laptop, so I can't share it here because I was on my laptop when I did, although I should have done that and shared it. But yeah, a history teacher, and he had all these credentials, and I was like, oh, and Mitchell was trying to help me out there, trying to get this guy to participate in a debate. Taxation is why the statists are right. He said taxation is the only way you can have more or less like a free, prosperous society. I said, and my reply was, yeah, that's akin to suggesting that rape is the only way that you can have a positive sexual experience. Well, maybe if you're the rapist, maybe, right? And taxation is really, really great if you're the thief or a benefactor of said theft. But there's a flip side of that shit too, right? There's the one that's being raped. Probably not a real positive sexual experience for that person, considering it's against their will, which is why it's called rape in the fucking first place. Same with theft or taxation. Yeah, probably not so good from the person that's being stole from or having their income plundered, right? Not so good for them. So it comes down to perspective at the end of the day, doesn't it? But that's the thing. People like to put on their state of shoe and say, oh, I like to imagine myself as the recipient of said theft. So I like it. Once again, all you're admitting is that you lack principles, morals, and any ethics at all. And you're just well, it's might makes right. Or, if I can, I'll take mine as long as I get mine. I get your expenses. Hey, that's good, because at the end of the day, once again, so government creates this system where people that are the bad among us, like I say, can use that power to take as much as they want from others. But yet Brent's saying, well, we need government, man. We need the state, man. Because bad people exist, right? But yeah, let's give bad people exist. But yeah, good idea. Hey, we live in a world where there's bad people, some really evil, fucking vile people. How could we counter that? Let's create this institution or this entity where people have a monopoly or the pretense of a monopoly of force or violence to impose their will on millions of people. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, just don't tell the authoritarians or these bad evil people. Just don't tell them about it, right? Hey, they might find out through word of mouth. And once they realize that, look at this. It's that golden beacon in the sky. It says, if I want to take charge or control over millions of people, all I got to do is gravitate to that position of power, and I can do it as I wish, right? Like I say, we're in a lot of trouble. And yeah, I have to go through the same kind of hell. Why? Because I'm surrounded by a fucking bunch of dipshits that don't know how to think critically about issues. So I got to live just like a slave because I happen to live in a plantation full of a bunch of fucking dumbed down dipshits, right? Yeah, great fun. Give me hell, I say. What's going on, Miss Donna Kaz? No man has the right to rule. No, you're absolutely right, Corey W. But most people actually believe the opposite. Oops, them stupid phone. Oh, give them hell. Give them hell. Yeah, well, I just, it's just a rant. I tend to rant from time to time. It's kind of what I do. And why wouldn't I? That's the other thing. And actually, I'm glad to see Tim and David were talking. It's like, that's one thing I've always had a little bit of an issue with some of my fellow libertarians is some of them are so much into the intellectual and the philosophical world and such intellectual wonks is it's always about here. And like, I'm all about here. I love, objective knowledge and making sure, that you're using your proper faculties, right? So that you're, dealing with things in a proper manner. But we were born with a brain and a heart and compassion and emotions. You can't leave them, right? And people, so I do tend to wear my heart. I can be intellectual, but I can also wear my heart on my sleeve too. So it's not one or the other for me. Like, how guys are, you're not supposed to display any emotions, right? It's like, no, God gave me emotions too, right? So what the fuck? What's the point in having them? So yeah, it's okay to show a little bit of anger. It's okay to show a little bit of sadness. It's okay to be happy, sad. Like it's okay to express emotions from time to time. And when people get pissed off because men do that, it's like, you're weird. You're fucking weird. I don't want to be surrounded with fucking everybody that's just, acts like fucking robots. But yeah, it's definitely, you got to reach out and appeal to people, not just their intellect, but their emotions. Because like humans are emotional beings, for fuck's sake. So of course you got to appeal to both, but make sure you're astute when you're doing so. Don't use it as a way to manipulate them. To me, that's the big thing, is don't use it as a means to manipulate them, but use it as a means to help educate and inform them. Because that's, like I say, there's two ways people learn. Well, a combination too of either, right, through intellect or by, like I say, by appealing to their emotion as well. Diversity. Oh, diversify your shit. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Like I say, definitely. And if you're, hopefully I'll see a lot more subscribers on my BitChute channel after today, because like I say, that's my alternative platform. I do have was it DTube, but I still haven't figured that one out entirely and how to get everything. Oh, I see Rika in the chat. Hey, what's going on, Rika? Yes, would someone please? Yes, come on, Crit. I guess you're talking to Leo Critical. Yes, please inform me, because I'm just so dumb. I just don't understand things. And could you, yes, please, inform me in who rules the world, because somehow you have figured this all out, right? Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, what's going on, Rika? Libertarian filter required common sense, not follow the herd. Yeah, but most people, that's the thing. Most people just follow the fucking herd, whether they're right or left. That's what's happening. They don't want to listen to fucking someone that's standing on reason and being logically consistent. It doesn't work for them. They got to get that fucking in-group thing. They, like I say, they still allow their knuckle dragging, that monkey brain, to control them on a continuing basis. Got to identify as left or right. Never mind the fact, like I say, it's about liberty, folks. Freedom has no, something means like, rape is wrong. Well, is it wrong for men and women, or just one or the other? No, it's both, right? So there should be no, it's not binary. It's all encompassing. Like, principles are principles for a reason, right? It's not principles for this time, but then I can remove the, like, I don't know. Anyways. They talk about doing the same thing and hope for a different result. Yeah, I feel like that. Actually, I feel like that a lot lately. The Conservatives keep shitting on Quebec and then cry that Quebec doesn't vote for them and they can't get elected without Quebec. Well, once again, listen, voting for any of the establishment parties, no matter what province you're in, they've established and entrenched their power. The people of that kind of, like, to me, it's like trying to go into the Protestant or the Catholic Church and trying to reform it, right? It's like, yeah, good luck on that, because most of the people that started the institution, maintain the institution, and congregate to the institution are all Catholics. So yeah, good luck with that, right? What the fuck is wrong with you people? No, you don't try to reinvent the wheel once again. You just go completely elsewhere, because that you're not going to, if you're trying to use the establishment system to counter or overthrow the establishment system, good luck on all that, is all I got to say. The geniuses, think about it, the geniuses of the world, right? And the proof is all out there. The proof is in the pudding in the real world that exists. The geniuses of the world never tried to, like, the establishment media have been dominating the minds of the masses for years, right? And these social media execs, the ones that actually started these social media platforms, people such as Zuckerberg, right? That actually does stand up much more so vigorously for freedom of speech. Like I say, these people, rather than saying, let's take over the New York Times, or let's take over the Washington Post, or let's take over, we just got to reform these establishment media outlets. No, the geniuses of the world said, no, we'll just create a whole new, right, way for people to be able to communicate with each other. And hopefully, like, see, people will adopt that. And it worked great. You don't have to try to reform it, right? Just like, yeah, the state currently exists as it is now, and it's not going away anytime tomorrow. But like I say, start in your own personal life and try to vacate the state in as many ways as humanly possible. Find as many ways as you can in your personal life to not just vacate the state, but to not support it economically or socially, and make it so that the people in your community or in your immediate surroundings realize that, look, they come up with a better idea. This is how you do things. So if you're sick of taxation as a way to pave roads, let's say, figure out a way to get your roads paved in your community without having to go towards fucking, like I say, just completely make it so they're obsolete and useless, and people realize that, I actually don't have to go through a revolution or tear this down. I don't have to tear it down. I just go elsewhere and ignore it. Just ignore it entirely, right? And like I say, just like Elon Musk. Let's reinvent NASA. No. Start all over. Start fucking from scratch. Start your own. Like, use your own innovation, your own ideas. Get your own people that are actually have the same goals in mind and want to do the same things. Get those people. Create a whole new way to travel into space. We don't have to defund. Well, I can't say necessarily defund NASA because it's kind of a joint venture in some of their stuff, right? But once again, we have at least seen with real world examples that there are ways to not just disrupt the establishment or the old world way of doing things, but to completely invent new ways of doing things. But you have to make that enticing. And like I said, you don't want to create echo chambers or where you're going to function entirely where people are just repeating and regurgitating the same political talking points without actually having information presented them that actually challenges some of their preconceived notions. I'm even getting sick of hearing myself talk today, folks, so I'm sure some of you probably are too. But yeah, I'm back to the topic at hand. Yeah, Stefan Molyneux. Fuck. God damn it. Banned from YouTube. Wow. Unbelievable. I'm still a little bit in shock today. I mean, he didn't even monetize, right? Well, because he knew that, like, just like I didn't for a long time either, didn't monetize it. Because we know like what takes place in there. But like I say, I would have never thought 14 fucking years, I think it was, he's been on there. Yeah. 14 goddamn years. And now they decide to ban him. Think about what information that he uploaded and presented and was contained within like over 3,000 plus videos. And what the hell could he have possibly have said in the last, I don't know what video or two? It's just, like I say, no, I believe it definitely has to do with, the election coming up in November. Do I think there's some serious strategizing going on in these dominant social media platforms and the timing is particular? Yeah. But like I say, rather than play these stupid fucking games or try to speculate in once again, we need to get to the point where, like I say, we can find ways to counteract these people, but without entirely have redundancy built in so that they recognize these dominant players that we got backup. But like I say, stay as much in this space so that we can hopefully try to appeal to as many people as humanly possible. Or like I say, I guess we'll just all gravitate and I don't know, just once again, vacate these dominant platforms and just hand it over to the authoritarian collectivists entirely. Like, I don't know, to me, it sounds very defeatist to just hand them over the reign because they've already got, that's the other thing, these dominant platforms like social media, like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and these ones, they've already got all of our data. They've already got all that stuff. And now you're just here, you can have it all, and I'm just going to leave it with and not get anything back. At least, like I say, at least one thing I do get back is my ability to speak freely until they finally do pull the fucking plug. And I will continue to do so until that day happens. And I will. Hope you're listening, YouTube. You're never going to shut me. The only way, like I say, you're going to have to do the same thing to me, what you did to Molyneux and everyone else. You're going to have to literally, but you're going to have a lot harder work. You're going to have your work cut out for you to tear my fucking channel down or to ban me. Because like I say, I know your game and I'm playing it really, really well. So good luck. Good luck. I know you only got to wait for me to fuck up one time. I know you can sit back there and I could do like Molyneux. I could do 1,000 things right. And all you got to do is just wait for the one time I do something wrong. But hey, challenge accepted, motherfuckers. Challenge accepted. I'll take on that challenge. I love me a good challenge. I'll take it. But like I said, in the meantime, yeah, of course I'm over on some of the alternative platforms. Same like on ThinkSpot. ThinkSpot, the technical part of the platform, like I say, yeah, they need some help in there in terms of people who know how to run a website and edit. Like, there's some help. They're getting better. So I will say kudos to but they probably could have used with some people who are a little bit more tech savvy would have probably, because everything else, like locals, great. So easy to share content on it. Like most social media platforms, very intuitive and all that stuff. And like I say, find me on Locals Community, locals.com/Canadian Libertarian, I believe it is. But yeah, ThinkSpot, it's still nowhere near intuitive. And there's so many extra things you have to do, even just to share a post. Like, it takes me 3 or 4 times the amount of time it takes me to share something on locals on ThinkSpot because of all the extra things. I got to add my own thumbnail. I got to do this. I got to go back over and copy the link because it doesn't show up as a hyperlink when you post in a post. In every other platform, as soon as you post a link in there, it comes up as a hyperlink that you can click on. On ThinkSpot, you actually have to go back over it, highlight it, then. So there's all kinds of extra stuff I got to do it, which is weird too, because ThinkSpot's the only fucking site that I had to pay for because it's a pay-to-pay platform, right? Which I said, well, okay, it's quite cheap. It's only like, was it $3 a month? It's pretty cheap. But I signed up for a year back when it first started, and I was like, okay, but it's like the one platform I got to pay for is actually the worst platform in terms of in being intuitive and ease of functionality and stuff. But anyways, at least, like I say, at least they're doing a good job. And one thing I love about ThinkSpot is it functions under the rules of freedom of speech in the US. So unless the only way a post can be taken down from ThinkSpot is if it's deemed actually illegal, like under the law, and you're being criminally investigated or something, right? That's the only way a post can be taken down ThinkSpot. So other than the fact that it definitely needs some tweaking in terms of user intuitive or user ability or in the intuitiveness of it, but it's definitely a good place in terms of freedom of speech, just like Locals, Mind, and Gab are as well. Horse racing. Let's look at the photo finish. Oh yeah, you're not going to stop the corruption. Like I say, you're not going to stop it. That's why when people think that you're just going to use politics to, like, you have to affect your culture, and your culture is affected by people who are leaders in your communities. People that, think about it, you need people who are positive role models and leaders of your community everywhere, anywhere. And for people to start replicating not just that success, but that kind of line of reasoning and thinking and leadership. Without that, like I say, without people leading by example, and like I say, become more actively involved in, like I say, movie, music, television, all those cultural aspects. I'm back. YouTube site, The Last American Vagabond. What happened there now? You will notice that he makes very long videos just like you. He takes excerpts from long videos and makes many short videos. Yeah, that's something I've been thinking about doing myself as well, Sina Allegria. And I think you remember I probably said this before, but my issue is trying to balance not just my personal life, but I actually do have a life outside of internet. I know that's the thing. Even people like Stefan Molyneux, like the outside world forget, like he has a daughter, right? That he's got to spend time with. He's got a wife. Like it's a thing. Like we're trying to, like people like him, people like myself, we're trying to actively balance, and it's very difficult to do so. And yes, these things would be great to do, but if the time I'm spending in cutting these videos up into smaller chunks is time I'm not spending, staying on top of current events or news, or actively participating in conversations with other people, or like I say, better educate and inform myself. Because that's the other thing. I'm nowhere near done actively educate and inform myself so that I make sure I'm more astute and knowledgeable on the things that I talk about. To me, that's of paramount importance, that I make sure that I'm not misleading people and that I am doing the right thing to make sure that I'm giving proper information, right? And I would love to be able to do it all, but it's just me, myself, and I. I don't have anyone. If I had the money to pay someone, I would gladly pay someone to do what you're suggesting, or that, like I say, to break down some of my big long videos into smaller segments or bites. And like I say, and then once they're done, I would gladly re-upload them on a channel or alternative platforms like BitChute. I'd gladly do that, but I can't do it all. And I just don't know what else to do anymore. It's like no matter what I do, every time, no matter how much work and effort I've put in over the years, there's always somebody, well, you just got to do more, or just do this, or it's like, I don't know. Like I say, can't please everyone, unfortunately. deprogramming oneself is hard work, and most people don't even know they need to do it. Is that ever true, Rika? And that's the thing. People are scared of that deprogramming. But like I say, until you've shown a willingness to do so, then not much is going to change. And I mean, Rika knows this as well as I do. I mean, me and Rika have been friends now at least a good decade or more. And yeah, we've been watching. I mean, me and Rika, I'm sure she would agree. We've been watching things get way progressively worse since, Ron Paul 2008, 2012. I mean, come on. Just since 2012 alone, that's 8 years. In that 8 years, like, holy shit, have things ever gotten progressively worse in terms of having any semblance of individual freedom or liberty respected, when you're talking about whether economic or social policy, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And yeah, the freedom or the liberty movement doesn't seem to be having much power sway. It's basically, like I say, it's basically been all but destroyed. And now it's just like seemingly basically a ragtag bunch of people like myself that are just sparse, very few people following us anymore, disbanded, right? I mean, we're not a very effective force to be reckoned with, that's for sure, which is why, like I say, the authoritarian collectivists are running rickshaw overs. And of course, because they realize they're dominating the space and fewer people are showing their solidarity or willingness to hold or prop us up against the backlash, right? So, like I say, there's only so much I could do. What was it? Remember that? And he was a big motherfucking dude. Remember that dude on the Game of Thrones? Hodon. Remember, what was it, the last season or one of the last seasons where he's holding himself up, trying to block the door from the hordes that were coming or whatever. And he did a great job. He held on. He was a big strapping dude. He was holding on. He was holding them back for the longest time. But like I say, even one man, even someone as strong as that man will be overwhelmed by the collective, by the mob, by the gang, right? So if you leave those of us who are individuals and promoters of individual rights, if you leave us to our own device and to be the sacrificial animals, well, like I said, back to the question at hand. Who the fuck's going to take up the mantle? Who's going to take my place when I'm done, right? When they've taken me out? Who's going to take up the mantle? Who's going to take the place of Stefan Molyneux, right? That's the thing. Everyone likes to think that we're all equal. Yeah? How many people have the equal knowledge, skills, and capabilities as Stefan Molyneux does to go hours on end talking? And I mean, like, he makes me look like a fool when he goes on, right? He's, like I say, I even say Molyneux is much better at talk about philosophy than I am. I'm trying to get better and I try to improve all the time. But even I recognize the knowledge. Molyneux has a very unique brain, very unique skills, very unique capacities that you just can't replicate and replace, right? You just can't copy and paste that shit into someone else and think that, oh, well, they're going to pick up the mantle. Nah. No, there was only one Einstein, right? Now there was only one Galileo, and there was only one Aristotle. There was only one Socrates. There was only, like, come on. Start acknowledging that you really need to help the ones that, like I say, are the active leaders in terms of fighting and standing in defense of liberty, because we have the ideas. But once again, our ideas are failing or falling by the wayside if people aren't willing to share and spread those ideas, right? And help be a force when the hordes are at the door to help us try to hold the space, to hold the hordes back, right? We need a little help. Can't do it all on our own. And for those people who are like, oh, I hope those libertarians, oh, they're so individualized. They're so selfish, because that's what I hear a lot of people say. Oh, they're so all about the individual. All right, let those individuals fail. Okay, well, all right. Like I say, go ahead. Let the hordes win. But once again, who the fuck's going to be left to defend you when the hordes are at the gate, right? And there's nobody there even trying to block it anymore, right? So I don't know. Go get a fit test. There's literally a gauge on the test to adjust the device based on racial. A fit test? There's literally a gauge on the test to adjust the device based on. That's weird. If you're woke, you're a joke. If you're red pilled, you're fulfilled past the word. You're fulfilled past the word. Welcome to the fight. Rika's been in the fight a long time, Edward. Hey, what's going on, cats? Rage on, brothers and sisters. Patriots will rise. Actually, that's my fear, Kaz, is the people who are patriots. I believe a lot of the patriots would just as soon see me thrown under the bus as their left-wing counterparts. So I don't agree. That's my problem, is the patriots. That's my problem, is they place the state. The state is what they're fighting for at the end of the day, right? That's my issue. That's my issue. I fight for ideas, right? And Canada is not, sorry, if I was an American, I'd almost get a little bit patriotic. I really would. If I was an American, I would almost be willing to allow some patriotism to flow through me. Why? Because the patriotism that I would be espousing or expand upon or promoting are those ideas of liberty, right? Those that are the founding or the foundational principles contained within the U.S. Constitution, right? Freedom of speech, the First Amendment. And not just a quasi freedom of speech, but a genuine freedom of speech. There's no such thing as hate speech, a hate speech provision in the Constitution of the United States. And that was upheld by the Supreme Court of Canada or the U.S. multiple times. So you can even say things that are deemed hateful. That is what true freedom of speech is. That is what the idea of freedom of speech truly entails. And that is the kind of idea or the principle that I can stand behind. Not this blind patriotism to a flag or a geographical area just because what your government calls it something, your masters called this plantation this. No, it's the ideas. So once again, until the right wingers get out from the bullshit of just like being faggots or my Canada, right? Or my political party, my Canada is conservative. Right? It's like, once again, until people break free from that bullshit, well, I don't know. I don't get it. That's the patriotism, the Canadian patriots that I'm seeing. It's nationalism. It's I still want to have rulers. I still want lots of theft. I still want forced income and wealth redistribution, but I want it done to benefit my group, my ilk, my type, the people I perceive as my group or my tribe, right? So it's like the Mark Friesens of the world and these some of these other right wingers and even Maxime and a lot of these PPC, a lot of these people, or even like I say, even some of the other people that have come to my page that aren't even part of PPC, is they love forced wealth and income redistribution. They love being able to use the power or the monopoly of force or violence, aka the state, to dominate and control their peers, their citizens, right? In many different ways, socially and economically, but they just have a particular way or a brand of doing things, right? Whereas, like I say, I don't want to dominate or control anybody. I respect every Canadian's individual right, freedom, and liberty, which is why, to me, if you want to get into politics, the only politics that's even worthwhile delving into, although, like I say, you got to change the culture before you fucking get into the politics. But if you want to, if you care about freedom and liberty, then the Libertarian Party of Canada, that's the only game in town, folks. It's the only game in town. And Tim Owen will say the same thing. Yeah, politics isn't going to help you. You need to get the culture. Then I'll be here for you. We can help with the politics once we've changed and shifted the culture, because we realize politics isn't going away, but we got to change the culture first. And Tim Moen would tell you that himself. I've heard him say that himself. So yeah, we got to affect the culture, but the culture in this country, like I say, is leftists that just hate Canada seemingly, or that's the thing. They seem to love Canada, but yet they hate nationalism. That's the weird part about the left, is they can't even figure out what the fuck they're pro or against, right? Their logic is fucked up. But the right wingers in this country just seem to be constantly all about just, once again, let's just prop up and maintain the status quo or reinvent the status quo to better suit our particular political preferences, which, once again, those of us are all about individual rights, freedoms, and liberty. Those who actually adhere to, and once again, back to the Founding Fathers, the idea. There's no Second Amendment in this country, nor is there the very concept or idea behind or the underpinnings of the Second Amendment in Canada, like the U.S. had, where they said, yeah, it's a militia. Second Amendment isn't for your hunting rights. It's for you to be able to protect yourself from threats, both foreign and domestic, from tyranny from within. None of the Canadians are talking about that. None of these right wingers, or very few of these people that represent the right in this country, or the PPC supporters, are talking about, destroying the very pretense of having central planners or rulers micromanaging or controlling or dictating our social economic lives. Like I say, they're just saying, hey, I want to take the ring. I want to take control of the ring of power. And I need the control. You need to give me that control. You need to give me the ring of power because there's external threats. It's the UN. Ooh, it's easy. Or the evil boogeyman from the UN. Ooh, we got to make sure the UN doesn't do all this. Meanwhile, like I say, even what was it? That Brent Alderson, fucking Trudeau, UN. Trudeau was the one that did it. But like I say, the right, too busy worrying about the external threats, not even paying attention about the actual threats that's happening in their own fucking backyard. So I don't know. Keep pumping up the patriotism, and I guess it gives right wingers like oh, that feels good. Ain't gonna change shit though, because you're not gonna, like I say, right wingers, you're not gonna entice me into your camp by appealing to my flag or my state. Sorry, not gonna happen. You start rallying around ideas like taxation is theft, hashtag taxation of theft, right? No, nobody has the authority to take one fucking dime from my paycheck against my wish, without my express permission. Start talking about that shit, which once again, whether you come from the right or left, we all benefit from not being stolen from, right? Both people on the left and the right and the center, we all benefit from that. But pumping up this right left bullshit, yeah, all you're doing is saying, let's make our side benefit at the expense of the opposite side. Well, once again, when you're playing that win-loss scenario, zero-sum game, well, don't expect, because the people in this country obviously have different preferences, different ideologies. You're only appealing. So once again, it's might makes right. Who takes over or gains possession of the ring to use it towards their opponents? And like I say, I'm not going to get involved in that. Not going to get involved in that at all, because I recognize that actually I lose out, right? Because I won't play on either side. No matter which side gains power of the ring, I lose out in that scenario. So yeah, stop trying to entice me into the patriotism thing, because homie, don't play that. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, you definitely got to take on the local corruption. Exactly. You have to start go to your, like I say, set up town hall meetings at your local legion, or rent a rec center, or do something. Do fucking something so that you're getting people, thinking more critically about these issues. Or if you, like I say, I don't even ask people. I always say, I'll do the work, but just, send me an audience at least. Like, I'll do all the work, I'll do all the talk, and I'll do all the shit. Just send me an audience so I can help. But you're like, oh, but if I send them to Bennett, then he's not going to repeat the patriotism that I like. Okay, well then teach them about, blind conformity to the nation or the state. Yep, yeah, that'll help them. Not. You see. Sorry. Oh yeah, haha, Rika. I know. What are we at here? Oh my God, 147. Okay, I'm not going to keep this going for any more than 2 hours, folks. Once again, I just wanted to do a stream. Actually, today I got to do brakes on the car. Or actually, no, that's tomorrow. I get to save that to tomorrow. I'm getting them today, but I got finished doing my porch. I've got to build another section on for my little garden I got going on there. I got a lot to do, so I'm going to tie this one up anyways. But like I said, I felt compelled. There's no way I could go through today after hearing that Molyneux was banned from YouTube. And it wasn't just Molyneux. That's another thing. It wasn't just Molyneux. Lots of other people, like I say, apparently got banned as well. So they've been going on a tirade lately. And like I say, first they came for, whoever, and very few people spoke out, right? Just like under the Nazi regime. First they came for this group, then they came for this group, then they came for this, until there was only me left, and then there was nobody left to defend me because I didn't stand it. Like, that's playing out right before our eyes, and people are just sitting and watching it like a spectacle. It's weird. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. Thank you, Edwin Teach. I don't believe in lizard. I don't either. I would make fun of a theory that you clearly don't understand. What's the theory? Hey, listen, I'd even, of course, I know you won't accept it, Brent, but I'd even invite you on here, right? I'd invite you on here to talk whatever the hell smack you want to talk, but you know, goddamn well, like, what's your point, man? What's your point? Huh? What's your point? Tell me what the fuck is your point of even coming to this stream, right? What are you trying to do? Turn the people that watch me, the few that do watch me, try and turn them against me now or some shit? Like, just go start your own fucking channel then. Like, fuck. Like, I don't understand. Wouldn't make fun of a theory that, what theory don't I understand? Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. Like I say, this is why we can't have nice things. Okay. And all this stuff has got me even thinking more about the fact that whatever happened to that G Rich? Like, I'm really starting to get curious of who the fuck are these people? Like, are these people just trying to fucking see if they can't catch me or get me in a gotcha moment so that I can be banned? Like, I don't know, man. I find it, there's so many crazy, strange things that happen. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes I think, well, it is what it is, man. But other times I really wonder. Bennett, transform your lawn into permaculture, food, forest garden, grow some tomatoes, cucumbers, peas, beans, spice, fruit trees. Forgot all that. I actually, well, yeah, cucumber. Actually, no. Do we have cucumbers? Actually, you know what? That's the only thing I think we don't have. But yeah, we got peas. Oh, spices. No spices. No fruit. Actually, no, I do have fruit tree. Apple trees. Get 2 of them. No fruit bush. Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. I do have fruit bushes. Backyard, blueberries. And if you go, there's a couple areas a little in the back. There's actually not strawberries. Oh, raspberries. So actually, yeah. So just in my close proximity, yeah. So I do have fruit bushes, fruit trees, no spices. Got to buy them from the store still. Beans, yes. We got peas, yes. Tomatoes for sure. What else we got? Corn. Not much for corn because corn requires a lot of soil to grow in. That'll be another year, but. What do we got? Squash. Oh, I love squash. What else do we got? Oh, carrots, lettuce, all kinds of goodies in the garden. But yeah, definitely for sure. That's, like I say, definitely. Well, when you're trying to vacate the state, you have to become more sustainable. You have to, I'm helping at least to starve the beast. I'm not contributing to my own economic enslavement or social enslavement. I'm not propping up the fucking beast. No fucking way. I'm trying my best as I possibly can without obviously starving to death, right? And still trying to function as a somewhat normal human being. I'm trying my best. I do every day anything that I can think about to help me vacate the state and not sustain this current establishment or status quo. I constantly try to do as best I can. People are bad, so we need a government made up of people are bad, so we need a government made of people are bad, so we need... I should have... I wish this must be old. How long am I? It's 1:30. How old is that one? Okay, what's going on here? Oh, yeah, about a half hour. Bennett does good rants. Thank you, Leo Young. I appreciate that. Well, what it is, it's just, I'm very passionate and I'm very vocal about my things. Actually, I do much better rant. If there wasn't a camera on me, actually, if you talk to my family members, they'd say, actually, you miss out on some of the best rants you've ever heard in your goddamn life. Because when I'm sitting and I don't have like a camera and like the lights and all this, even though I'm getting more and more comfortable with this stuff, and I have been over the years, and I'm trying my best, it's still not the same as when you're like, you don't have like this thing where there's everybody. Like, when it's weird when you realize that there's an audience watching you, unless you're one of those people that are just so used to being a public figure, which I'm not, right? Which I'm not. And I never was my whole life. My whole life was just truck driver, racing shit, and construction trades and work hard, play hard kind of guy. This is so outside of my realm of comfort. But like I say, because I'm the kind of person that I'll rise to any occasion. Or challenge me to something, I'll give it a shot. What the hell? But yeah, it's still not to the point. And like I say, you can find that out real quickly if you ever talk to me in person, where it's like just a kind of a private type setting where there's only maybe a couple people. Man, that's when my best rants happen. And actually, a lot of times, like, damn it, we should have recorded that. Because of course it's never, but then again, if I actually did record it, Actually, I think the only way it would work is if someone secretly recorded it and I didn't know about it, then it'd probably work out. Because the minute it's recorded, it's like, oh, it really does, man. It's like I say, to this day, I'm still fighting the gremlins of being in the public sphere. It's not something I don't know if I'll ever become fully 100% comfortable with, but like I say, I try my best. I just do my thing. If you collect a taxpayer paycheck and you willfully choose to push the government crown fraud upon us, you should forfeit your assets. Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, like think about, like I say, how many government workers that all of them, and some of them might, like say, they might be rewarded even better in the private sphere. But there's a lot of people that work for government in this country, and government, the only way their paycheck exists is by way of forced wealth and income redistribution. And when it happens as a consequence or result of force, how would you know what they're actually worth, right? And why in the hell is it? That's another thing too. If you know how the public sector was set up in most Western countries, originally it was under the pretense that you want to be a public servant. To that, they still use that terminology today. I want to be a public servant. So if you want to serve the public, that means you're willing to. I mean, most people that want to serve the public call themselves volunteers. And to this day, there are people that still volunteer under charitable or volunteer organizations and do that every day or on a regular basis. Whereas people in government, they pretend that they want to be charitable, they want to serve the public, and yet they benefit economically and socially much more than anyone in the private sector or the private sphere would, right? Or most people. So when you work for government, you get to retire at 55. Very, 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 very few Canadians, unless you run a successful private business and have managed to escape government largesse stealing from you, like you might be able to retire at 55 if your business has been successful, right? And like I say, you've still managed to garner enough profits while simultaneously paying off big government, right? The mobsters, right? Those people, but most Canadians actually, as you see even today in the boomers, in the private sector, can't retire. If you're in the private sphere, even boomers who have had 4 or 5 decades, right, of having government largesse and forced wealth and income, but those in the private sector still are working in their 70s, in their mid 70s, some of them, the boomers, because they can't retire. I can't. I got to, right? And maybe some of them because they spent way outside their means. Actually, that's the case for most of them, right? Because what do you mean you can't retire? Well, you can't downgrade from your $2 million house that you bought back in the 60s for $20,000 and live off that, but buy yourself a little bungalow somewhere in the sticks for like $100,000. Yeah, you can. You just want to maintain what it is a lot of them want to maintain their lifestyle, even off and retire without it degrading at all. But yeah, like I say, public sector workers, even the lowest among us, have got a leg up, not just in their economic compensation, but their pension plans and their ability to, once again, they work for government. You get all the benefits. You want to talk about privilege? That's what a privilege is in Canada. You want to know who the privileged class are? Those who work for government, because they get all the benefits. Because once again, government, unlike a private business, doesn't have to function under a profit motive. They can steal from as many Canadians or the unborn as they want to pay for their so-called employees, right? So there's no proper incentive. And like I say, the people who are supposed to or play up the role of being public servants are actually your superiors and acting like your masters, right? So I don't know. Yeah. And people in my family, I make sure that I say this stuff to them so that they don't feel comfortable in their dirt, right? There's a method of getting rid of grass lawn naturally by putting cardboard or brown paper newspapers on the lawn and keep it covered for several months. Spring plant. Are you watching what we do around here, Sin Alegria? That's weird, because actually that's what we did. I joke, but that's actually what we did when we, but me and the wife helped me out. But when I built our little garden thingies, well, we just sectioned off part of the, instead of tilling up the backyard or the side yard, we just sectioned out spots, made little planting boxes or whatever you call them. And that's what we did. You put the cardboard down. So yeah, I know. Right on. Are you just poking and prodding me? No, I'm just kidding. All municipalities across Canada have already implemented Agenda 2030. So that Agenda 2030 is UN, but who implemented all municipalities? So who's the problem? Not the UN, it's the municipalities. So I would say it's not the UN that we need to worry about. It's those municipalities, right? It's your local mayors. It's your town councils, right? That's the problem. Those are the people who have the authority to do so over you. UN doesn't have any authority to do that, do they? No authority at all, right? They can make all the recommendations. They can sign their orders and decrees that they want these kind of policies, but they have no authority in Canada. None. Anything that gets done in Canada, any of these policies or positions or platforms put forth by any of these UN dipshits, if they get implemented in your country or in your jurisdiction, your province or your locality, yeah, it's your local government or it's your premier or your provincial government or the federal government ultimately that did that. So once again, I'm not sure if you were saying that to point that out or what, but I just wanted to clarify that. Antima first. Antima. Antima? I'm not even sure what that means. Anyways, it's already 2 hours, so I'm just going to catch up on a few more of the comments, and then we're going to tie her up there, folks. Right on. I garden with cardboard and compost. Great food for worms and return great Yeah, compost would be good too. We don't have any of that, but we did get, a mixture of all kinds of goodies there, manure and all that stuff. Yeah, some of them do. Yeah, not much taste them, like you say. Principles and rights are nice, but unless you have the strength to enforce those principles and rights, they don't exist. This is the purpose of it. Exactly. That's the thing, folks. Force as a means of defense, not for preemptive purposes, though. That's the thing. When I hear people talking about, like, oh, you need government because, well, you need force. No, only as a means to defend your ideas, not as a means to impose your ideas. If you have to use force to impose your ideas, then they're bad ideas. Now, of course, you're going to need a means to defend your ideas, right? Because there's always going to be bad people who are going to try to impose their will on you. So, yes, force as a means of defense to defend your ideas or liberty itself. Yes, of course. That is precisely, as Gato was alluding to, that is why, yes, you need a well-armed population of people willing to defend those rights, freedoms. Because, yeah, they don't exist. They're only words written on a parchment or paper if you lack the willness and the ability to defend them. Subscribing to mainstream is mud on the brain. Yeah. But I do subscribe to mainstream, and just like I referenced that, was that Canadian Hate Network or whatever the fuck that's. I pay attention. Like I say, I have to pay attention to the people who actively want to silence or suppress or deny me my inherent rights and freedoms. Why wouldn't I mean, what the? Anyways, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, whatever happened to don't be evil, right? They actually pulled that right out of the mission statement of Google, don't be evil. So yeah, now they've turned to the dark side, apparently. Sure seems that way. Okay, looks like it's all right. I don't mind the name calling. It's normal these days. Someone who thinks they're completely right and stops contemplating themselves constantly is the true evil or ignorance. Yes, I'm true evil, Brent. Say, just if you want to prove to me you're actually serious, because I don't know you. Obviously, I don't know you from a hole in the ground. But if you actually want to prove to me that you're actually serious, because I'm going to try to remember your name now after today, so that I know where exactly you are. Because if you truly, then like I say, I'll bring you on. Now I'm not going to. It's 2 hours already. But if you truly, right, if you want to show me that you have the right intentions, then come the fuck on and have a conversation like a real fucking human being. Don't sit there and fucking troll away in the fucking comment section talking smack. Let's do it. Let's have a chat, because I guarantee we'll figure it out one way or the other, right? We'll have enough dialogue. We'll figure it one way or the other what page we're each other's on, right? But if you don't want to have a conversation, if you don't want to actually engage in dialogue, which most Canadians these days, then like I say, just piss off, because if you're not willing to have a conversation, then you're no one that actually, you're just not anyone I really care to worry about. I used to support Tim Moen too until I realized that he supports the gynocentric ideology and system that is destroying the lives of men. What gynocentric ideology? I have no idea what that is. And but yeah. Well, support the local conservatives there, Gato. They'll fix you up, man. Like I say, everyone wants to play I don't know. Out of all the people in Canada, first of all, who's fucking better than Molyneux or Mullen? Like, I just point to me who these people are who are vastly superior. That's all I would ask. Right? Who are these people that I'm turned against these people for this reason or this? Like, but who are the superior? At least show me who the people are who are vastly superior to them. I don't know who the hell they are. I don't know who they are. It's not like I don't pay attention out there. I don't know who the hell but like I say, everyone wants to take down the best, the brightest, the strongest, the most resilient, right? The most principled. It seems like everyone wants to take those people down these days. What? For what? For what is my question? All right, on. Same with me. Well, I mean, I was a founding member of the PBC, right? But yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned now, I mean, I can't tear it up because it's online. But here, let me proverbially tear up my PPC membership for you if it makes you feel better. Because yeah, I mean, I'm vastly disappointed by that party too. Because like I say, nothing's gonna. Yeah, I'd like to know that too. Actually, I'll tie this up soon as because hopefully Gato tells me what this gynocentric thing is. I've opted out voting as violence. I'm on a personal journey of agorism. Conkin style. I'm learning, implementing. Right on, the emancipated gardener. Yeah, because the world's going to unfold the way it's going to unfold. You and I, we can try our best. Like, we can try to help people out as much as we can, and I'll continue to do so. Just like I would suggest maybe for you to help people, especially in your local community. But yeah, make sure you're taking care of you and the ones you love or you care about the most, because don't rely on anyone else. As you see, at the end of the day, we've got ourselves and those that we're closely aligned and associated with. That's who's truly got our back at the end of the day. That's why this big giant collective bullshit, it never works out. It never is. Take care of the people that you know have got your back and that you truly can trust. And hey, the world's going to unfold the way it is. We like I say, we don't have control, nor would I seek control to change things, because that would make us the new puppet masters, right? And I don't want to be anyone's puppet master. So I just have to sit back and realize that things are going to be the way they are, but I can do my part in trying to help as many people as I can. And I would suggest you doing the same, because really that's all we can do at the end of the day. The ones that don't want to be helped or want to play the status game, they're going to fucking insult us, and they're going to go, and then they're going to find their own little collective or group to hammer away at their shit. And it is going to be what it's going to be. Anyways, folks, I think no problem, Kaz. I appreciate you showing up. But anyways, yeah, thanks everyone for showing up. But yeah, I'm going to tie up this stream. The PBC wants me to donate again. I'm so deflated with them. Awesome show. Oh, thank you very much, Darren Chikak 442. 442. I mean, that's up to you, right? Like, to me, it's like I got nothing against per se, other than the fact that it's, well, I guess I kind of do some individuals within the PBC, but I get why people are gravitating to the PBC. They thought it was going to be a decent, worthwhile option. But once again, if the last year hasn't shown you how important it is and the results of the PBC, if that hasn't shown you how important it is to change the culture of this country first before you worry about like changing or shifting the political landscape in this country, that I don't know what else is. Like I say, it truly is. It truly has to start at the home, at your local community, like literally outside your front door, and the people that you're surrounded with. That's where it starts. And until people, like I say, start to realize that, the more people that, like I say, gravitate towards politics are going to be constantly disappointed and really at the end of the day wasting a tremendous amount of time. That's time and effort that they should be into changing the culture of this country and putting people into the proper mindset and thinking critically about these issues. If you do that, then like I say, the rest kind of just falls, or not falls, but just kind of the opportunities open up when you have the right ideas, right? But without the right ideas and without people accepting or adopting those ideas, then I say trying to shoot pool with a rope, not going to work so well. Self-sustainability equals independence. Does it ever? And yeah, Canada, a lot of people are not self-sustainable in any way and are fully reliant on government. I mean, CERB payments alone. In addition to the 4.1 million Canadians that were on government, working for government in some capacity, whether it's federally, provincially, or locally, 8 million people, when the CERB was introduced by the Trudeau Liberals, 8 million people chose to go on the government dole then. So think about how many people that represents of a percentage or a portion of the population. The adult age working population in this country, 8 million, that's a substantial portion, right? So a lot of people are still, no matter how much they agree with what, if the government is signing their paycheck and they rely on government for their income, for their livelihood, no matter how correct we are, no matter how principled we are, no matter how much they recognize that we're taking the proper position, they're still going to turn their backs on us because their bottom line, their livelihood basically depends on it. And my truth, or the truth, and philosophy is not going to counteract their ability to make sure that they can take care of themselves and feed themselves. Like I say, that's why you have to offer people alternatives and options in order for them to gravitate to, in order to get away from this stuff, right? Blockchain can help with something that way. And there are some people who are using blockchain technology, such as cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum, to, make an economic income or livelihood without supporting the status quo or the establishment. Anyways, like I say, thanks for everyone that showed up to the stream. I hope everyone has, what's today? Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. I hope everyone has a great week, but please, I uploaded a video that came out this morning, 9 o'clock, and I know we're doing two things in one day. I'm probably going to get even less views, but if you wouldn't mind, folks, in addition to liking this before you leave, please hit the like button. That was kind of a rant. I was going to go on there earlier. Please just hit the fucking like button. Just hit the goddamn like button. It'll only take you a second. Please. I want to make sure that at least the people that frequent my channel are showing that they at least have the willingness to hit the goddamn like button. Because I do. When I watch people's videos, I like it. Or if I don't like it, I'll dislike it. Either way, but at least show some kind of interaction. Although if you're disliking it, are you really helping me out? Not really. Right? But anyways. But yeah, and then, like I say, check out that video and some of the other videos, because if you look on my channel, you'll see, yes, I've been uploading channels all along. And you'll see that those videos that have been only getting 100, 200 views, whereas I used to get 1,000 views, like I say, it'd be nice to get those numbers back up in some way, so that once those numbers get back up, then maybe that person will tell this person. Like I say, we need to spread the message, and the message is not being spread when there's fewer and fewer people actually watching my videos, and I'm seeing a lower subscriber count. Like I say, it's all the exact opposite of what I need or require if I'm going to be helpful to the rest of Canada or the rest of society in any way. So thanks if you can help me out there. That would be really appreciated. And like I say, everyone enjoy the rest of their week. I'll see you in the next stream. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.